the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Courts and Tribunal Service has dealt with the vast majority of hearings, either by telephone or by virtual hearings via Cloud Video Platform or CVP, which is an internet-based video meeting service that works like others we have all become used to, such as Zoom or Teams. We are seeing a significant increase in the number of claims our clients are receiving, and having supported our clients through tribunal hearings via telephone and CVP, we thought we'd share our experience. Being faced with the prospect of attending a CVP hearing can be daunting, so hopefully it's helpful to explain what actually happens at a virtual hearing. Telephone hearings have been commonplace for preliminary hearings and case management hearings for some time now and are very much like a conference call, with all parties to the case on the call together with an employment judge. The tribunal would deal with any preliminary issues, set a timetable for the case and hear any applications either party has made at these type of hearings. Clients do not need to attend these hearings the majority of the time. By contrast, CVP hearings tend to be used by the tribunal for final hearings, where an employment judge or panel will hear the evidence in a case before drawing their conclusions and delivering their judgment. Normally, a CVP link will be provided via email by a tribunal clerk the day before the hearing, and you simply click on it to join the hearing. You'll need to ensure that you have reliable internet connection and a quiet environment in which you can attend the hearing, and it is vital that you test the link beforehand. It's also worth noting that on CVP you cannot blur the background or add a different one, so consider your surroundings and specifically what is behind you prior to the hearing. In our experience, the CVP link will not work on any version of Internet Explorer, and the tribunal recommends that you download Google Chrome and use this to access the CVP hearing, or you can use Safari on an Apple device. If you do encounter any technical difficulties, the tribunal provides a helpline number that you can contact directly for assistance, so don't panic. When you attend the Employment Tribunal in person, there are opportunities to pass notes to your legal representative or have discussions in conference during break times and adjournments. These discussions are really important, but clearly cannot be possible in the same way at the moment, and so this is another thing that has now become reliant on electronic communication. WhatsApp chat groups, which include the respondents' legal representatives and the witnesses, are invaluable and allow for instantaneous communication as the hearing progresses, and Teams or Zoom calls during breaks and at the end of the day allow for more in-depth discussions. On the first day of the hearing, you should log in 15 minutes prior to the hearing start time, and it's important to remember that this is an employment tribunal hearing and it's actually a criminal offence to record or transmit any part of the hearing, and this includes taking photos or videos of the hearing on your mobile phone or screenshots on your computer. The formalities at a virtual employment tribunal hearing are largely the same as those at an in-person hearing. You'll need to have your camera on throughout some or all of the hearing, and the judge will be able to see what you are doing and what you have around you. We suggest you wear business attire and behave in a professional manner, don't eat or drink save having some water to hand, and avoid distractions in the room insofar as possible. The judge will ask all attendees who are not speaking to mute themselves. The judge and panel members should be addressed as Sir or Madam, and if they address you, then you should unmute yourself and respond. There will usually be a tribunal clerk on the hearing who can assist with any administrative issues, such as forwarding any emails that the claimant or the respondent need to send to the judge. Preparing and distributing bundles in lockdown is challenging, and missing documents is not uncommon. There's also a chat box where comments can be posted to everyone on the hearing. CVP hearings tend to run from 10 a.m. until 4:30 p.m, and the judge will adjourn the hearing every hour or so to allow for a short rest break, largely for health and safety reasons to give everyone a break from screen time, and there's also usually a 1-hour break for lunch. The judge will also indicate a time that everyone must return to the hearing, and we'd advise that you log back in a few minutes before it's due to recommence, just to be on the safe side. The judge and panel may not have read the case papers prior to the hearing, so once the initial introductions between the parties and the judge have taken place and any preliminary or administrative issues have been dealt with, the judge will take some reading time. This can take potentially the remainder of the first morning. All witnesses are required to either swear on oath or give an affirmation that they will tell the truth. Affirmation is the Tribunal's preference at present to avoid any delay due to witnesses not having the relevant religious book to hand. But if you wish to swear on oath, then just make sure that you have your own book to hand. The claimant often presents their case first. Witness statements are taken as read nowadays in the Employment Tribunal, so unless there is any supplemental evidence that either party wishes to adduce beyond what is contained in their statements, the claimant will be cross-examined by the respondent's representative. If the claimant calls any witnesses, they will then be cross-examined next. We would strongly recommend the respondent's witnesses observe the claimant's case so that they know what the entire case against them is, and also so they can comment on any inaccuracies or inconsistencies, and these can then be challenged by the respondent's representative in cross-examination or contradicted by the witness when they give their own evidence. Once the claimant's case is concluded, the respondent's witnesses will be called and cross-examined by the claimant or their representative if they have one. The claimant and respondent will then have the opportunity to make closing submissions, and the tribunal will retire to deliberate. You may receive the judgment that day, but where there's insufficient time left, you will usually receive the tribunal's written reasons in due course, and in our experience, this takes at least a month. We hope this has given you a flavour of what a CVP hearing is like, and whilst there's no substitute for being together and hopefully celebrating victory at the end of a case, there are some positives to virtual hearings. For example, your witnesses being out of the business for less time, as there is no need to travel, and they can work during breaks if needed. Employment tribunal claims can be a stressful experience for employers, and we're here to advise and support you throughout and every step of the way, from the outset of an employment issue to the conclusion of a hearing.